Halondrus, his visual bugs are gone. Now I wonder, were these visual bugs what they picked up in Linus Tech Tips? Because I actually saw, I think it was Halondrus. Basically, this is the thing that's happened. So this is an Apple Silicon Mac, and there are few games that are natively optimized for it, but World of Warcraft is one. And that's led to loads of people trying to do gaming benchmarks using World of Warcraft. And it had like LTT running around fucking Dunmoreau.
Oh dear.
So anyway, somebody who knows WoW got in contact with Anthony or whatever way it went, and then they ended up doing some testing inside LFR because they wanted to, and they did a bunch of, they did 4 times, rip, to, doing Halondrus to get some like FPS ratings or readings. But they were finding like visual bugs and glitches, right? And it's kind of funny because I have seen those in Apple Silicon. I've also seen those on Windows. And I have to wonder if the bug that they saw could even have been this. Who knows? But basically, there was a problem where basically just shit wouldn't appear correctly. In the Halondrus fight, stuff would be occluded when it shouldn't have been. And this has been a problem for a while, but it actually it took them ages. And the reason why, okay, so starting June 10th, multiple abilities began disappearing or rendering inconsistently. They rolled out some partial fixes a few days later, but things then lingered. Unusual for a bug to take so long. Basically, QA testers and engineers couldn't really reproduce it until, guided by the curious case of a single engineer who was able to reliably reproduce it when no one else could, they tracked down the underlying issue. Basically, they did a hotfix that caused people's clients to erroneously read a erroneous visual occluder, which basically is just a volume that, well, I'll use their own words, an invisible volume that is used to tell the engine what it does not need to, it doesn't need to render what's on the other side, right? Because you literally don't need it, you can't see it. And this is one of the things you can use to increase your performance, etc.
Why render behind the camera? There was a whole big thing where, I can't remember the exact context, but it was, I want to say Kotaku, because everyone laughs at Kotaku all the time anyway, but there was some case where there was some new tech being talked about in some game. I want to say it was like Horizon or something like that. And Kotaku journalists were talking to devs, and they were like so overwhelmed by the idea of occlusion, of like culling.
Call that frustrum, baby.
Frustrum culling.
Oh,
and they were like, "This is incredible. This is great." And they're like going like, "Oh, this is frustrum culling." And I was like, "You mean don't render stuff that you can't see?
You mean shit that we did in fucking third year of university?"
Yeah, it's shit that's like as soon as 3D graphics existed, people went, "Oh yeah." As soon as viewpoints existed, like, "Oh yeah, yeah." There's no point making the computer do things behind the camera or behind the rock. Oh, okay, cool. And we're like, "Wow, this is incredible stuff. This is fucking mind-blowing tech."
That's why the
Genius.
6th generation or whatever generation. That's why the PS3 struggled.
Yeah.
It was rendering everything behind the camera.
Yeah, apparently I was right. It was Kotaku and it was Horizon. I can't believe I remembered that.
Well done.
But yeah.
So yeah, basically that was the problem, and a hotfix caused that problem. And because of going through this process, they've just learned some shit that will make it less likely to happen again. So there you go. Fun little thing. And I suppose you got a free rant at Kotaku's expense. Congratulations, man.
Yeah,
well done.
Interesting that like this kind of stuff is it just crops up. It just appears. It's so difficult to like fix this really quick when it's so specific. But I think that's the thing where it's like it's about reproducing it internally.
Yeah.
And that's the really, really nightmare thing, but at least they got it sorted. Hopefully it doesn't happen again.